Here are your Court News Ohio top stories in 5 minutes.
An Ohio man on death row will not be executed, the Ohio Supreme Court determined on October 1st. Benny Adams, who was convicted in 2007 for the 1985 murder of a Youngstown State University student, will have his case returned to the trial court for a new sentencing hearing. The Supreme Court's majority upheld Adams' aggravated murder conviction, but overturned the death penalty ruling. Chief Justice Maureen O'Connor said Ohio law requires the state to show proof of each of the underlying felonies of rape, kidnapping, aggravated robbery, and aggravated burglary if it did not ask the jury to indicate specifically which of the 4 felonies Adams committed. The state failed to prove that Adams committed aggravated burglary, so there was insufficient evidence to support the death penalty, the Chief Justice wrote. Chief Justice O'Connor noted that Adams can't receive the death sentence again at his new hearing because of the double jeopardy clause in the U.S. Constitution.
The Ohio Supreme Court ruled that Secretary of State John Husted did not abuse his discretion when he rejected the nominations of Kelly Bensman and Benjamin Roberts by the Lucas County Republican Party to be the GOP representatives on the 4-member county elections board. Husted deemed the two as central figures in an environment of dysfunction and distrust surrounding the board. On October 1st, the Supreme Court, in a 4-0 opinion, with 3 justices not participating, denied a court order sought by the party to overturn Husted's decision and placed the two on the board.
John Connor had a successful career as a solo lawyer, chief of liquor control in the Attorney General's office, and then a common pleas court judge.
All during that time, you know, I was still pretty heavy drinker. You know, I got my work done, but you know, I was drinking more than a normal, so you wouldn't call me a social drinker.
Despite several drunken driving arrests over a span of 2 decades, a public reprimand by the state's disciplinary board, and a DUI conviction while he was serving on the bench, Connor says he didn't recognize he had a problem until he was pulled over for drunk driving in 2002.
But I had my bright lights on, and they were shining in a police officer's face. And I knew I had a conviction before, and I had gotten some publicity in '99, you know, when I was convicted. And I just thought the world had ended, you know, that my career had ended.
That low point brought more publicity and discipline from the Ohio Supreme Court. Connor was able to keep his law license and continue to serve on the bench as long as he complied with terms of a contract with the Ohio Lawyers Assistance Program, or OLAP.
The primary purpose of the Lawyers Assistance Program is to protect the public from impaired legal professionals.
Executive Director Scott Moat says chemical dependency is a big problem in the legal profession.
10% of the American non-lawyer public has a problem with alcohol, and drug use among lawyers is 20%. And once we've been practicing law, been in the profession 25 years, the number statistically jumps to 25%.
OLAP's confidential help for lawyers, judges, and law students recovering from chemical dependency and mental health issues includes education and awareness, intervention services, and monitoring support. That support is what Connor says helped to hold him accountable while he was struggling to maintain sobriety. Connor's been sober since December 2002, and his sobriety led to the high point in his career when he served as a visiting judge on the Ohio Supreme Court while an appeals court judge.
So here I am, the guy in 2003 that was going to be disbarred because I was a drunk, and then in 2010 I get to sit on the Supreme Court by assignment. My life has been so unbelievably great in the last 12 years that I would be stupid to take a drink and throw it away.
The Ohio Supreme Court's online case management system, with more than 73,000 cases dating back to 1985 and one of the most visited areas on the court's website, has been reconstructed. The new design has expanded features on its homepage, including new search capabilities and a new recent filings tab that lists all case filings made to the Supreme Court in the last 5 days. The new design also provides mobile-friendly access to the online docket. This is just one of many upgrades to the Supreme Court's website within the last few months. That's a look at Court News Ohio's top stories. Visit courtnewsohio.gov for the latest headlines on Ohio's courts. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter.